because his deeds were evil and his brothers were righteous. Cain is mentioned here just as a contrast. We don't want to be like Cain. We don't want to be on that aspect of the spectrum, if you will. We don't want to be hating our brother. In James chapter 2, 13 to 17, judgment will be merciless to the one who has shown no mercy. Mercy triumphs over judgment. What use is it, my brethren, if someone says he has faith, but he has no works? Can that faith save him? If a brother or sister is without clothing and in need of daily food, and one of you says to them, go in peace, be warmed and filled, and yet do not give them what is necessary for the body, what use is that? Even so, faith, if it has no works, is dead, being by itself. Can we stand alone as an island? No. We don't stand alone as an island. We're to be involved with each other, helping each other as much as we can. Love one another was commanded by Jesus. Paul taught to love one another. Peter instructed us to love one another. John stressed that we love one another. And James summed it up. We're to love one another. Yes, we're to be our brother's keeper. We are responsible for each other. As elders are shepherds over the flock, they have ultimate responsibility. They hold a powerful responsibility to God for the flock among them. They're overseers. As the elders strive to help the congregation to stay spiritual, the congregation has a responsibility to help the elders, make their life easy. We have no elders here, but we have a similar responsibility to each other. Because an elder has himself to worry about in the flock. You and I, even though we're not elders, we still have a responsibility to each other. That we try and help each other make it to heaven. So as we understand we're to love each other, how do we express that? Romans 15, Paul said, accept one another, just as Christ also accepted us to the glory of God. Accept one another, just as Christ accepted us. So I'm to accept you as Christ accepted me. What does that mean? Well, it puts on a responsibility on me. Christ accepts us even when we're not all we need to be. I'm not everything I should be. I doubt that I ever will be. His grace covers me when I'm trying. Charlie mentioned that this morning. If we're trying, God's grace jumps up there and says, I'll cover that because I know your heart and you're trying. You and I need each other's grace. Children need grace once in a while. When a little child messes up, they don't always have to have a spanking. Once in a while, you can give them grace. They know they messed up. You can give them grace once in a while. They shouldn't have done it, but that's okay. We'll get by it this time. They don't always have to have a spanking. We need each other's grace once in a while to just kind of overlook sometimes or accept us with our shortcomings. My children never got grace. Ask them, they'll tell you. Romans 14:19. So then we pursue the things which make for peace, the building up of one another. We build each other up. We pursue. Now, I know there's a lot of athletes in here, and there's a lot of you that may not be athletes that you know about sports and stuff. I don't care if it's volleyball, basketball, football, baseball. If the ball runs errant to where it's not supposed to be, somebody's chasing it to get it back. Supposed to be pursuing it. Their focus is upon getting the fumble or whatever it is. That's pursuing. We're to be actively seeking what makes peace among the brotherhood. That we might might build each other up. Anything we can do to help each other's spiritual walk, we're to pursue that. Chase after it as if it meant everything. And it, by the way, it does mean everything. When we're talking about somebody's soul, everything we can do is important. Ephesians chapter 4. Paul told the Ephesians, be kind to one another, tenderhearted, forgiving each other, just as God in Christ has forgiven you. Tenderhearted. How many people in this room have ever looked down on the face of a little baby and not felt tenderhearted? Well, we look down on a little baby and we see, especially if it's yours or your grandchild, it's hard to breathe sometimes because the pride is there. It's so happy. But that's tenderhearted. Forgiving. Forgiving to little children because they don't know if they do something wrong. That's how we're to be with each other. I'm to look at you, and by the way, I do, with my tender heart. Loving you. Caring for your spiritual well-being. Why don't we get up here 2 times a week? Why does Lynn get up here Wednesday? Charlie gets up here Sunday morning for Bible class. Why? Because we're tender-hearted towards all. And we want everybody to be right with God. Everybody we want to be right with God. That demonstrates our tender-hearted towards you. We're to have a forgiving attitude. We have to have a tender attitude, a forgiving attitude towards each other. What did Jesus say when somebody smites you on the cheek? This is the enemy. He said, turn the other cheek. Now, if Jesus expects that of us in response to the enemy, what does he expect from us in relationship to each other? If you offend me, am I supposed to get angry? No. If you're supposed to forgive the enemy,